What's up guys, TheBrokenPencil here. So today, we're gonna start a new series. It's gonna be with subreddits. So our first one's r/entitledparents. Basically, the subreddit is about, so you're a summoner, right? And then there's a kid. You say, oh, I want this, or something. Mostly it's about he wants something or she wants something. And then if you politely say no and stuff, the parent would come in and be triggered and stuff. So yeah, let's get into this one. Let's go. This happened a few months ago, and it turned out to be longer than I thought when I typed this out. I was flying on these cheap airlines where the seats are all cramped together, so I paid extra for a seat with more legroom, which also gave me free priority boarding. Usually don't care for that, but when you got a cabin bag, getting on early so I don't have to keep it under the seat is worth waiting in the plane. After being one of the first people on board, the plane is now pretty much fully boarded. Enter entitled mother. I see them talking to a crew member for a while, but go back to listening to my music when I feel a tap on my shoulder, so I remove my headphones. Hey, I'm flying with my mom, and I was wondering if you could swap seats with her so we could sit together. I look over to where his mom is sitting, and it's a standard seat. Me. No, I'm sorry. Kid looks defeated but walks away. I put my headphones in and I start to relax when I hear a loud voice. Entitled mother, excuse me? Me? Yes. Entitled mother, me and my son need your seat as he is scared of flying, so we need to sit together. I'm sorry to hear that, but I paid extra for this seat with extra legroom, so I won't be sitting to the standard seat. You're sitting next to the only open seat. You have to swap with me. Me starting to get annoyed, and she won't take no for an answer. No, I don't. And if you needed to sit together, you should have paid attention to choose your seats, not bet that you could switch seats later. Until parent clearly starts to get aggravated. I can't afford to pay extra for that. Just because you're rich doesn't mean everyone is. I'm a parent, so I have to save money. Now swap seats. Not sure how rich I have to be to afford the £5 to £15 cost to select the seat, but alright. I really starting to get annoyed. She won't leave me alone. Me. I'm not gonna swap with you. Now please leave me alone. Until parent raising her voice even more. The stewardess said, you have to swap with me so we could sit together now. Do you want... Until parent raising her voice even more. The stewardess said, you have to swap so we could sit together now. Do what she said and move. I've had enough, so I hit the flight crew button, and the same woman they were talking to earlier comes over. FC. How may I help you? Me. This lady wants to swap seats with me, and she says I get interrupted by entitled mother yelling, he won't move. You told us he had to swap seats with us, and now make him move. FC. What's FC stand for? Yeah. Flight crew. Oh, flight. Okay. Flight crew. How may I help you? Me. This lady wants to swap seats with me, and she says I get interrupted by entitled mother now yelling, he won't move. You told us he had to swap seats with us. Now make a move. Flight crew giving me supportive look and mouths, I'm sorry. She turns to tell mother, I told you this is the only open seat, so if you want to sit together, you could ask him if he's okay with swapping. Not now you can force him to move. If he doesn't want to swap with you, you will have to go to take your assigned seat. Tell mother, I have to sit next to my son. You have to get this retarded to move or sit somewhere else, or I'm gonna sue you and delay this plane. Flight crew, if you had to sit next to each other, you should have paid to select seats. Now I've had enough of your tone, and you either stop bothering man and go back to your seat, or I'll have the captain deplane you. Entire mother looks like she's gonna explode. She stands there for a moment before turning around and heading back to her seat, mumbling something. The captain calls out the cabin crew. Prepare for the takeoff message, and I start to let go of the tension I built up. Flight crew, smiling. Is this seat taken? I can't help but laugh as she sits down. Flight crew, I'm so sorry about that. When I told them to ask you, I didn't think this would happen. I told her it was fine, and we had a pretty nice chat during takeoff until she went back to do her job. She also gave me a free drink once service started, so despite the annoying start, it turned out into a pretty nice flight. This subreddit is very interesting. It's one of my favorite ones. It just has interesting stories, and I just hate when people, the entitled parent. So guys, the next story is, the title is basically, I need to go ahead of you in line. I have a child. So, let's get straight into the story. As the title suggests, I was standing in line at the grocery store waiting. I was holding a box of Pop-Tarts and 3 tins of cat food. Priorities. Winky face. I heard someone push their car up behind me in line, and I moved up a couple more steps to give them room. The person behind me cleared their throat. I remained facing forward. Well, why wouldn't I have turned around? The person behind me cleared their throat again, as far more fake and sort of throat clear, so I turned my head to look at them and smile, not quite sure what's going on. And tell mother, I need to get ahead of you in line. Me, I'm sorry. And tell mother, I need to go ahead of you in line. I look at her cart, which is stacked, then at the few things I'm holding in my hands, and hold them up a bit before replying. Me, I just have a few things. It'll be super quick. And tell mother, I have a child with me. If you haven't noticed, I need to go first. I look again, and there is a baby carrier in the front of the cart, and the child is fast asleep. Now, someone had came up behind me in line with a screaming child. They were trying their best. To comfort to no avail. I would have stepped out of line and let them go ahead of me without them having asked. No question, but to have some lady push up behind me with a sleeping child, a cramped cart of food, and demand to go ahead of me because they had a child, I'm not as keen, so I shake my head. Me, no, I'm sorry, I've been waiting here for a bit, and I like to get out. I only have a few things and it'll be quick. I turn back around, then face forward. The cashier in the lady behind me starts huffing and scoffing, like she's totally disgusted with me for being so selfish. She shifts her cart around, making pain noises like it was just too much for her to bear with. And I start to feel uncomfortable and like this wasn't worth the argument, and maybe I shouldn't just let her go ahead of me. Then the cashier catches my eye and gives me this kind of evil smile and reaches over and hands me her please use the next cash sign, and asks me to put it behind my things when I set them down. She then calls over to disgusted mom and tells her she will have to get into a different lab because she was closing her till after me. And tell mother just lets loose with the curse words, wheels the cart around hard enough that a bunch of stuff falls off top. Her child predictably wakes up and starts crying while she's picking up her things. I'm guessing I looked rather bewildered because the cashier laughed at me, and I said quietly, I'm a mom with 3 kids. I hate when other moms use their kids like they're some sort of disability that entitles them to special treatment. I leave rather happy that not every parent in the world is entitled. For this, it's like half and half. I kind of agree. Like, she should have she should have let her go in front because she only had a couple of things. But like, just a bunch of stuff in her cart stacked, and also she has a baby. Like if she didn't have the carrier, she would have to hold her in one arm and then move the car with the other one. And then but I still agree with the mom, not entitled parent, not entitled mother, the mom, like the actual person that's writing this. So I agree with the mom, the person that's writing this, because like it's not sort of disability, doesn't mean you have kids, doesn't mean you can't do anything. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. See you guys in the next video. I don't know, that's gonna be like 7 months. And yeah, peace.